And I hope you are going to have a wonderful weekend. I hope you have some fun plans. For us, today Fridays are my early day because Tuesdays and Thursdays are my work all day days. So I work 10 or more hours. So Friday I get to not work so late. We've been doing a competition season now for martial arts. So we as in Link and I are going to karate. He's not in competition because he's got to be a year older, but he sits and watches the classes that I teach as well as am a student in. So those are from 5:30 to 7. Then we come home and we have a nice easy evening. So that's what I got planned for today. Tomorrow we are working on the library office classroom. It's just a combo room for pretty much all of the day besides 2 hours that I have to teach karate. And then Sunday is a stay-at-home day. Link and I will be home, Alex will be working, and I'll be getting computer stuff done, finances, making Lincoln's homeschooling curriculum for the week, as well as, what else do I gotta do? Oh, we're gonna work on his gymnastic skills because he has to work on his back bend kicked over and his front walkovers. And then we're also working with his ABA on making a emotional behavioral chart, self-monitoring chart. So there's a reward system. So he's going to go on Amazon and make a wish list. And then he gets points per days that he checks off his self-monitoring chart that we're putting into place with his ABA. So got a bunch of fun things after having weeks of business trips, and I don't know why I couldn't think of the word trips, business trips, and we had family over here last week. 2 different families were visiting from being out of state. And then we had my anniversary before that and Halloween, and next week we have another business trip for Dance of the Dragon for Elixir events, which I'm excited about, and then it's Thanksgiving. In a span of 8 weeks, this is my only weekend home. So I'm looking forward to it very much. Nonetheless, I hope you guys are having a great week so far, and we're going to dive into what we'll be talking about today. And what we'll be talking about today is how to heal your body from the inside out. Specifically, we're talking about toxins and how they may be clouding your body, your mind, and even your spirit. So today we draw inspiration from the powerful healers of our favorite fantasies, like Throne of Glass has healers in it, the Torah Chesme, the Empyrean Series has the Healer's Quadrant. A lot of our favorite fantasy books, audiobooks, stories have some type of healer, medic in it. And a lot of our fantasy fitness program is warrior inspired, Valkyrie inspired, dragon rider inspired. So I wanted to do something that was more healer focused, because the healers are just as important. As much as I love my plants and my plant medicine, I would say Alex is definitely the healer between the two of us. He is, the ER nurse, the firefighter, the medic. So he's the healer, and I'm the warrior with our household. But we're going to take the inspiration from the healers in our favorite fantasy stories, and we're going to learn how we can naturally restore balance and vitality into our lives and harness those natural methods that they use to heal ourselves. And the reason that I wanted to create this live in education is because in our modern world, we are surrounded by hidden evils, whether it's processed food, pollutants, and even not processed food, in terms of Whole Foods nowadays, they put all these chemicals and additives in them. So, unless you're getting something that's organic or GMO, you don't know what you're eating. You don't know what's in it. And just because, it says all natural on it doesn't mean that it's actually all natural. That term is not regulated. So it's no wonder that so many of us face low energy, digestive troubles, skin dilemmas, mood fluctuations. I know I am definitely in that bunch as well with all of them. I can check off boxes for all of them. The low energy, check. Previously, I've been working on this for some time now, but I used to run on, at one point I was drinking 4 or 5 hour energies a day, I think, in my early 20s. And then before that, I was drinking the Monsters, and I was drinking 5 like quadruple espressos at Starbucks. Like I was running on caffeine and I had no natural energy. Digestive problems. I mean, they thought I had irritable bowel syndrome. They thought I had celiacs. I've been hospitalized for stomach pain, skin dilemmas. I mean, I can't, Molly's going to decide to bark if you guys can't hear her. Digestive troubles, skin dilemmas. So I don't have skin dilemmas here, but I actually get it on my arms and my thighs, which I do have met other people who have those troubles. So when I break out here and I break out here. And then mood fluctuations, I mean, a lot of people like to blame it on, for especially with women, like, oh, PMS and things like that. But mood is so impacted by what's going on in your gut, and we don't even realize it until we start making those changes and then seeing changes. So these are all signs that our body is calling for aid and needs a gentle healing approach, because a lot of us like to take care of our health through activity and movement and stimulation. And while those things are important, it's also important to remind us that we need to rest and recover and nurture and nourish our body as well. So let's dive a little bit deeper into those common symptoms of toxicity. And we're not going to, I mean, there's a list of like 50 to 100 symptoms that I could name, but we're just going to focus on a few common ones. So first is the low energy that I was talking about. So this may feel like a brain fog. This could feel like you always need that second cup of caffeine, your magical brew, and you may not just be able to stay awake, or you just may always feel drained. You may be around 4 or 5. A lot of people say that caffeine doesn't bother them if they go to sleep, like, oh, I can have a cup of coffee and go to bed and it doesn't bother me. But if you are reliant on caffeine and feel like you don't have low energy levels, that could be also a sign that you have low energy levels, but you're just supplementing with caffeinated products. I myself have been caffeine free for 4 to 5 months at this point. And it was truly eye-opening to me how much my body relied on it. And I'm not saying it was easy. It was not easy at all. I was exhausted for like 2 months. Trying to figure out how to give my body natural energy without using caffeine. Even the tea I drink is caffeine free at this point, because I just don't want that to be the resource for my body for energy. Not that there's anything wrong with it in terms of healthy dosages of it, but for me, it's just not what my body needed. Now, that second symptom I talked about was digestive discomfort. So for me, I talked about like IBS, I talked about being screened for celiac disease, hospitalization. It can be bloating, it can be irregularity. That's how a lot of ways that toxins build up in the body. Remember that our gut is the heart of our well-being. So yes, we have a heart, but I mean, they're talking about this mind-body connection as becoming a more prevalent word nowadays. And one of my predecessors said, it's not a mind-body connection. It's just us. It is one. We are one. Our mind and our body. It's not some two things with a pathway in between. It is just one. Everything is connected chemically and electronically. So whether it's coming from our gut, coming from our brain, it's all one. We're all connected. And speaking of being all connected, the third symptom of toxicity was, I said, skill irritation, skill plights, we'll say. So dullness, breakouts, afflictions that reflect to inner turmoil that are in our body, as well as mental stressors. We can break out physically from things that are going on internally, both here and here. And a lot of people don't realize that our skin is our largest organ, and it acts as a protective barrier and plays a crucial role in detoxification. So if we're not taking care of it, and we're not paying attention to how we're taking care of it and what we're putting on it, that can play a huge role in our lack of detoxifying and nourishing our body. And then lastly, the last one I talked about briefly was mood fluctuations. So this can be anxiety, irritability, anger, sadness, depressive thoughts. And this can arise when our bodies are overwhelmed with toxins as well. So our emotional health is intricately tied to our physical state, reminding us that we need to heed our inner whispers and what's happening in here and pay attention to when we have these emotional fluctuations. So now that we unveiled some symptoms of toxicity, I want to explore how we can summon our own healing magic to support our bodies in detoxifying. So the good news is that you don't need anything fancy to do this. You can begin right now with just a few simple spells steps. So first, I want you to consider infusing your diet with whole, unprocessed foods. So I have previously done a lunchtime learning about, I called it Grocery Store Adventures, and I talked about different words to pay attention to in the store. So, organic and non-GMO and natural, and which ones matter and which ones don't, and pastured versus, free range, and all of those different words you see all over your food. So I definitely recommend going back and looking at that Grocery Store Adventures lunchtime learning again. But we want to put as much whole, unprocessed foods as possible on our plate. For myself in our home, we shop at a butcher for our meat, and we shop at a farmer's market for our produce and our eggs and our dairy. Even our oil, our honey, and our bread at this point, we all get at the farmer's market. So there's only a few allergy-free based foods that I have to get for little man. So we want as close to the farm, as close to pulling it out of the ground, as close to birthing it out of the parent that it came from as possible. So fresh meats, fresh fruits, colorful vegetables, whole grains, legumes. These are all what we want to put on our plate. And we're talking about building a rainbow. You want to eat as many different colors as possible. That's actually one of the ways I plan my meals. If I'm not following the recipes out of our app, is, my husband will say, let's do the pork with the sweet potato. I'm like, okay, that's only 2 colors. What else can we add in there? Okay, let's add Brussels sprouts. Okay, let's add garlic. Let's add as many, peppers. I'm just picking random colors out there. But how can you add more colors to your plate? So these nourishing elements will help your body expel toxins like a sorcerer casting a cleansing spell. But to do this cleansing, we need to also have some type of lubricant. So we need to stay hydrated. So natural hydration is essential. Water acts as the elixir, flushing out the toxins and reviving your spirit. So you can also, if you don't like just plain water, which we've done many lunchtime learnings about different ways to hydrate, whether it's through adding aminos into your drink, whether it's through different flavored waters, herbal teas like dandelion and ginger can enhance the process of the detoxification and nourishing in your body, as well as offering refreshing and beneficial support. I like personally Mountain Rose Herbs, which is an online apothecary. So they have teas on there, whole herbs that you can buy in large, like bulk, as well as 100+ brews that are herbal based, that are both caffeinated and decaffeinated. If you want more supplement based flavored water, I recommend Aura, so O-R-A. Oh, look, this is not an ad. I don't get paid. I'm just showing you what I drink. And Aura is a organic plant-based supplement company that I recently switched to, and they are super transparent. So you can click on supplement, and it'll show you all the ingredients. But not only that, you can click on the ingredient, and they show you a picture of it, show you where it's sourced, which I really, really love. But so recently, they just came out with a creatine that's acai berry flavored. Give you a little stimulation there, and it is delicious, and I have switched to it from my non-flavored creatine that I used to put in my protein shake, and I switched to this so I can drink more water. Again, this is not an ad, but any way that you can get more water into your body, the better. I drink tea every morning, different teas, women's vitamin-based teas. I love hibiscus tea. So I have one called hibiscus hot. I have ginger-based tea because I love ginger. I just bought a golden milk tea, which is turmeric-based and pepper. I'm very excited about that one. You don't want to underestimate the power of hydrating effectively. And as well, you don't want to underestimate the power, because we talked about mind, body just being one, of doing mindfulness practices. So, we're hydrating, we're nourishing down here, we have to nourish up here as well. So this could be engaging in yoga with a meditation practice, or even simply learning breathing exercises that you have, maybe a guided breathing exercise that you can listen to or watch. We just recently did the Dragon Rider Grounding and Shielding Meditation Program, which we did lunchtime learnings on last month. And those have breathing techniques in them, so you can literally go watch those lunchtime learnings and do the breathing techniques with me. But these mindful-based practices help you manage stress and support your body's natural detox abilities. Because if we're not rest and recovered here, like I said, it is one. Whatever happens up here happens down here. So if we're in a fight or flight response here, we're going to be in a fight or flight response here. And when you're in a fight or flight response, your digestive system shuts down. Because if you think about that fight or flight, like, okay, I got to outrun a bear. Well, you don't need your digestive system to outrun a bear. So it slows down. Same thing, you also don't need to be able to sleep appropriately. So your ability to sleep effectively turns off. So we need to get in a rest and digest state here so we can be in a rest and digest state here. And as well, I know I talked about resting and recovering is so important in the aspect of nourishing your body and detoxifying, but I do want to not forget the magic of movement. So regular physical activity encourages circulation and promotes detoxification through sweat. Whether you choose to dance like no one's watching, go on a brisk walk, maybe garden, whatever it may be. You guys know that I say it multiple times. I don't care how you want to move, just find a way you like moving and keep doing it. So find what brings you joy and then let your spirit soar, get some sweat out, and let your body promote natural detoxification through movement. And then lastly, I did post about this week in the Achievers community, but consider digital detoxing as well. This is something that's becoming a lot more prevalent now that we are walking around with little mini computers in our pocket. I mean, mine doesn't fit in my pocket, I have to carry it, but little mini computers are with us 24/7. So we often overlook the overwhelming information and stimulation we face daily from these little mini computers. So we want to reduce screen time and social media when we can so we can create a clearer mind and a more balanced emotional state. Actually, I just found out this week that Australia is banning social media for anyone under the age of 16, which I think is fabulous because it really does affect our ability to have self-confidence, a sense of self, high self-esteem. And when you're little and you're trying to figure out who you are, like going on social media all the time, you want that instant gratification, that instant validation. So reducing screen time and social media is critical to your detoxification process because we got to be able to rest and recover. Remember, rest and digest. So allow yourself to reconnect with your inner self, your inner wisdom. And by weaving all of these strategies together, the mind, the body, digitally, into your daily life, you can create your own enchanted plan for detoxification. So I do understand that this path can sometimes seem a little bit daunting, like there's a lot of steps to it. Okay, you got the physical, you got the food, you got the mental, there's all these different aspects. So if you want a pre-crafted plan that's more structured, that is a more structured approach to guide you, and is inspired by our love for fantasy, then I definitely recommend that you check out our comprehensive roadmap that encompasses all the elements that we talked about today. It is called the Healer's Elixir Body Nourish and Detox 4-week program. And it's 4 weeks of meal plans, educational resources, toxicity questionnaire, and supportive practices to take everything that you learned today and implement it into a month's practice. So at the end of the month, you have habits in place in all of these different aspects of your life, and you understand what healthy food looks like, what vibrant foods look like, how to take out or minimize caffeine, how to increase the amount of whole foods you're eating. And the best part is that it's only $14. So that's 5 different guides. So the how-to step-by-step guide that you follow through the whole month, as well as 4 weekly meal plans, recipes, and grocery lists with pre-calculated macros, all for just $14. So this program is designed for those who wish to dive deeper into understanding their gut health and understanding nutrition without the guesswork of having to try to figure it out. So I'll put the link in the comments below for you guys to click on it and continue your journey if you'd like. And together we can unlock our vibrant energies that are awaiting us. So thank you for joining me on today's magical journey. I hope you feel inspired to take the first steps or next steps towards your healing and rejuvenation. And if you're ready to embark on this quest, simply click the link.